What's going on, everybody? It's Azazel. Got some more Destiny gameplay for you. It's a little hard for me to get gameplay for this because I'm really not all that great at this game, but as I do, I will upload it, and I do have a couple of games, so I'll put it up here shortly. I don't always talk about gaming news and stuff, but I do talk about the things that I find interesting or things that may perturb me about whatever I find, something like that. So, in the case of Black Ops 3, what I find interesting is that they announced that Black Ops 3 is going to be released on, last generation consoles. And I don't think that's a good thing. Well, let me rephrase. It's not a good thing as a whole. There are good things about it, of course. People that still have a PlayStation 3 and have an Xbox 360 don't have to go out and buy a new console in order to play the game. So, cool that they can still play if they can't afford to get a new console. I'll give them that. I'd feel that way too. Oh, great, cool, it's still coming out on the last generation consoles. I don't have to go out and buy myself a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. Thumbs up, groovy. With the exception of that little tidbit of good news, the rest of it really isn't all that good. We've all heard the argument that having the game come out on multiple consoles splits the player base. And at this point, it's no longer an opinion, it's a fact. It splits the player base, and because of that, it causes low player numbers on all of the different consoles, as well as PC. And PC's always had a much lower number than, the gaming consoles. But overall, it splits that player base. And the reason that that's a problem is because that means that there's less people playing the game for you to connect with, which means that there's more of a chance of you connecting with people in goddamn Brazil when you live, like me, in Kentucky. So that bothers me. Because here we are in the third generation of Call of Duty on new generation consoles, and they're still pumping them out using other developers. And they're still pumping them out on these old consoles. I don't like that, all right? It's the systems now, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, they've now been out for 2 years, going on 2 years. It's time to start embracing those consoles and focusing the efforts on those consoles so that the games that come out for those consoles will be higher quality. Alright, that's the thing. Now, Xbox 360 did this too for a while, but I can't remember exactly how long they did it before they finally stopped coming out with old PlayStation 2 and Xbox games. But that does kind of, it gets to me there. The other thing is, Marshawn Lynch is a villain, and that doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit who's a fucking villain. I don't give a shit who they get as a fucking actor. He's probably just doing it so he doesn't get fined. But let's just go ahead and say about the split player base that, with that and you add in DLC maps that split the player base even more, and it just destroys that player base. Halo 5 is going to be releasing all of their maps for free. And they said, we're not going to have this whole people who have the maps and people who don't have the maps. We're going to release it because we want our player base to be one. So let's just think about this. Other developers are quite literally learning from Activision's mistakes. They're going to take over because of stuff like that. Is it going to be in the near future? Probably not. But Activision keeps whoring out Call of Duty for money and the microtransactions and the DLC and not putting everything on the console. And it sucks. So why don't you tell me what you think down in the comments below. It's been Azazel. Take it easy, guys.